My name is Dominic Phillips, previously Dominic Dunaway, before I got married, and I am going to go over my journey for creating a virtual machine. Before I even got to the point where I could create the virtual machine, I had struggles logging into my student account in Microsoft Azure. And what had happened was Microsoft had to take time to verify that I was actually a student, and it took them a couple of hours before I could actually log in. And then after I was verified, I had an issue with getting my address. Microsoft wouldn't recognize that my address in Provo, Utah wasn't what it was. And so I was frustrated. And I decided that, you know what? I'm just going to use my uncle's address. I'll be humble. This was after a moment of being prideful. I will be humble, and I'll just put in my uncle's address. So I did that. I got logged in. Awesome. And then I tried creating a virtual machine. And the virtual machine, the first time I tried it, didn't want to be created for some reason. I had done all the basic information. I typed in Dunaway 235 as the name. I had selected all the basic things you needed. And it said that the student version was not applicable with some settings. And I said, what? And so I restarted. I deleted the virtual machine or I don't even know if you even created it, but I deleted it and I went and tried again. And when I tried again, it actually created. However, when I went to go connect to it, it said that your VM was not part of this network and basically not part of the server. I was like, what? What is going on? And so I decided to get a little help from AI. And after following the instructions from AI, I learned that basically you change nothing at all. None of the other stuff. You just put in the basic information. You don't add HTTPS for any of the protocols or anything. You just leave everything as is, except for your name and the administrator stuff. And so after doing that, I was able to get a virtual machine that works. As we can see, it's titled Dunaway 235, and the IP address is 172.208.53.148. And so I then changed the auto shutdown setting to save resources. And so I set it to go off at 10 p.m. every night, mountain time. And with that, I don't have to worry about overspending my student credits on a VM on this VM. And so one issue or one thought I had before I had even tried connecting was, how am I going to connect to this? Because I know I have an IP address here, but how do I use that to connect to the VM? And so after having that thought process, I went and hit connect, and it came up with two options: connect or connect with Bastion. I was like, I don't know which one to pick. But I decided to just pick the regular connect because I don't know what Bastion is. And when I hit that, I got an option that said connect with RDP. And so I downloaded the RDP file as seen right here. I have, with that, I was able to connect to my VM. Now my VM isn't a desktop VM. I'm pretty sure it's a server VM. I was expecting to get a screen like my desktop screen where it has some apps on it and a wallpaper, but I got this. And so I thought, well, how I am supposed to check my computer name, and how do I do that? And I was looking at the options, and number 2 says computer name. And so I click number 2, and this is what I got. I got current computer name Dunaway235, and I can enter a new name if I desire. And that was my process for connecting to a VM through remote desktop. So, and it was an experience that I'm glad I learned, because I know as I continue on throughout my IT career, I will probably use these. I had an interview the other day where they said they use Active Directory, and because of that, they're able to log into the virtual machines in their labs with any of the usernames. Yeah.